Welcome to Quarterback Film Room. We're taking a look at Josh Rosen, the somewhat controversial, highly intelligent, pro-style system-ready quarterback out of UCLA. We're taking a look at the Memphis game from earlier on in 2017. And then right off the bat, we can see Rosen's solid mechanics within the quick game. His feet are crisp. His release, there is not a lot of waste of motion in terms of that. Mechanically sound from the ground up. And that's something that, he has exemplified since he stepped foot in Westwood as a true freshman in 2015, starting from week one. So he's played a lot of football, actually, even though he's coming out as a true junior, threading the needle right there down the middle of the field. Not necessarily a quote-unquote risk-taking style of a quarterback, but he's not afraid to take risks either. Right here he's getting off his spot. He's trying to get something out of nothing. So from a pure fluidity perspective, looks pretty good, honestly, the majority of the time. What will happen at times is his feet will become a little bit not cement-like, but he does have a tendency to get a little bit long and lazy in terms of dropping back at times. Okay, it's not a prevailing theme, but it does show up on tape. So right here, we're going to show Rosen step up, and then he's going to try to hit his outlet at the last possible second, his running back. And you can see that he doesn't throw a touch or any sort of trajectory on that underneath route right there. His mechanics go to hell. Not on that throw, but on this throw. So I do think pressure has an effect on him. And you say, well, of course it does. It has an effect on every single quarterback. But there's guys who react to pressure differently than other guys. Okay, even though they're still reacting and they're still uncomfortable, they can function within that pressure, whether it be A gap, B gap, or the outside edge rush, etc. But when Rosen has time to throw, he's got time to set up, he's about as good as he gets in terms of the intermediate stuff. On the move, he's adequate. He's nowhere near a Sam Darnold on the move. But if you notice, it's a small thing. People compare him to Matt Ryan, but his feet are not as quick and crisp as a Matt Ryan. Now, his feet are fine, right? But they're not as quick, and it speaks to the type of instant reaction agility that Rosen really doesn't necessarily have. And then right here, again, where the touch component comes into play with Josh Rosen, as we watch more and more of him, he actually struggles with touch when he's trying to throw, either screens within the screen game or within the outlet game. So we go right there. So I mean, it's just not natural for him. Okay, he's not a natural touch thrower like, say, a Garoppolo or a lot of these other guys. But right here shows the ability to make a decision down the field to throw the post, but he had his over out wide open right there. So pressure affects Rosen, and we'll see the over is open right here. It's that post-cross combo. Now, he's got pressure in his face. Obviously, he's got to get rid of it. But should have taken the over there. So, yeah, I mean, he's a pretty polished kid. I mean, let's be honest. He's a polished prospect, but there are flaws within his game. That's what we are here for, to try to dissect these draft quarterback prospects, what they do well, what they're okay at, and what they struggle with. And Rosen does a lot of things well, but the things that he struggles with are the little nuance components that a Matt Ryan actually has and Rosen does not have. But again, right here, obviously, he's got time. He's crisp, and he's throwing the ball down the field. So the arrow is pointing upward for Josh. Okay. It's pointing up to a nice, long, successful NFL career as a starting quarterback. But if we take a look at this, again, maybe a pass where you need to take a little bit off or wait for that second window. But he tries to fire it in there. So is Josh Rosen a better prospect than Sam Darnold? You know, honestly, it's really hard to tell. They're almost neck and neck. Obviously, trait-wise, they are both different. But, you know, Rosen's ready to play, I'd say, right now. But is his ceiling as high as a Sam Darnold's? Probably not. So right here, we see Rosen try to abort. But again, he doesn't have that suddenness, that instinct to abort with elite agility. He just does not have it. So you have to ask yourself, is that going to be an issue at the NFL level, considering he's a guy who likes to throw off, you know, deep 5-step, 7-step, and deep play action? You say, well, maybe that'll become an issue if he's not protected. So even right here, you say, yeah, it's a nice throw, but the feet become lazy.